Part 2 for Ghost. That judge is an embarrassment, Governor. One with the power to ruin lives without just cause, and that's exactly what she did. It's sickening to think Mackenzie's fate got decided by an unpopular judge that cares nothing about truth or justice and plays dirty to make a name for herself. Those pretend facts speak for themselves, Governor. Don't forget dirtbag Democrat Michael O'Malley, who was instrumental in persecuting my dear personal friend. A stooge who launched a criminal smear campaign against an opponent also did the same to Mackenzie. His friend, colleague, and former drug dealer, Timmy, personally attacked her for being a bad person, for being a victim of drugs. Now tell me what's wrong with that picture. That's kind of like Osama bin Laden critiquing Adolf Hitler for not giving his victims room to jump. What a piece of stinking garbage to excoriate that poor kid for using some of her boyfriend's drugs when Tim was caught by an undercover cop dealing himself. Under Ohio law, he isn't even allowed to occupy his position, being guilty of dealing illicit drugs. Governor, these people have made such a horrific embarrassment of your state. It may be too late to repair its reputation. Now, on September 26th of this year, a 3-judge panel of biased judges upheld the disproved murder conviction of 20-year-old Mackenzie Shirilla, despite there being exactly zero proof that she crashed that car on purpose. Remember, innocent until proven guilty. Let me explain. What do you get when you mix a young couple who hours before this accident were seen happily socializing with no sign of trouble, were making plans for their future, had her lying on his lap like a pet, and were all using Dominic Russo's drugs on a fun night between them? I'll tell you what you don't get. You don't get a heinous fabricated murder conviction. I don't want to hear another word from your state's politicians about how this was some high-level premeditated murder mission. That never happened. Nobody, literally nobody does that. I'll give you a host of reasons why this conviction needs to be thrown out by you. Number 1, that era Toyota Camry is notorious for pedal entrapment, and recalls have been made to fix safety issues. That right there is reason enough to throw out murder conviction. Number 2, she also has a condition that causes her to get dizzy and lose consciousness, which spiteful judge totally disregarded and rather disrespectfully made a mockery of while the chained child awaited her eternal enslavement. That, along with the scores of drugs from her boyfriend, is reason enough to explain this whole thing away and free her today. She probably fainted while they enjoyed their speed run, and Dominic probably tried to free her foot and made the wheel pulls. He easily could have lodged her foot on the pedal, or the force of the impact could have done it. The fact that some people think this is actual damning evidence is beyond words insane. When people faint, they become rigid, and that's another reason he couldn't react in time. Number 3, the previous exploration of the road means absolutely nothing. For one thing, it's a popular road she went to all the time. She was most likely looking for a spot to have a good time with friends, and I guess all these judges and condemnation lawyers are at least 600 years old and have forgotten what it's like to be young and stupid, enjoy driving beyond the speed limit. Teenagers are not that smart. This so-called evidence isn't even worthy of the trash bin. Please give it a thumbs up. I'll see you in part 3.